Thank you so much, Siamata. It is my pleasure to participate in today's conversation. And for those of you I have not had the chance of meeting, I am based in Indianapolis, Indiana. ACT is based in Iowa City, and it is my pleasure to bring you information about the American College Application Campaign and other career supports that ACT has available for schools that are helping individuals, helping our young people prepare for life after high school. I am now trying to figure out how to. There you go. So today's agenda will give you some basic information about the American College Application Campaign. Some of you may already know about it, but just want to lay the groundwork. We'll highlight what is happening in Alabama related to the American College Application Campaign. I want to outline how you can get involved if your school or your nonprofit organization is not yet deeply connected with Alabama's work with the American College Application Campaign. I want to list out ways that you too can jump in and get involved. And then at the end of our conversation, I want to share a few additional ACT career readiness resources for those students who, in addition to exploring the college application process, might want to do some planning around their career trajectory. So that's how we're going to spend our hour together today. Feel free to put questions in the chat as we go. I will try to continue to monitor the chat and respond to questions as we go. So please know that I lead ACT's Center for Impact and Learning, where the American College Application Campaign is run. But there are two leaders within my team, Lisa Summer King and Dr. Trevor McCrae, who day to day make this train move forward. The American College Application Campaign has been in existence since 2005. My colleague Lisa Summer King has been engaged with it for most of that time, and Dr. Trevor McCrae is our newest team member helping to support the effort. I want you to know that these two individuals are the experts, and as a colleague of theirs that gets the chance to work with them every day, I am honored to bring their great work to your attention for today's conversation. Their contact information will be at the end of this slide deck so that if you have follow-up conversations, you can, of course, call me, but I'm going to bring them along and you will have their information to call them as well. So to ground our time together today, it's important to note that we are all aware of the many challenges facing young people as they prepare for life after high school. We know that the college opportunity is not equitably available to all students, that there are differences in how students from low-income communities or students of color or students who are at under-resourced schools or under-resourced communities are gaining access to college knowledge, gaining access to life after high school with robust opportunities. And we know that the college application process can be confusing for some students. If you don't have two parents who graduated from college that can help you navigate all the ins and outs, we know that sometimes that can be confusing. So the American College Application Campaign was designed to help address some of those challenges. But you should know that ACT's commitment is to support students along their path to many different post-secondary opportunities, life after high school opportunities. That would include traditional two-year and four-year institutions. It could include technical and vocational schools. It can include trade schools or certification programs. Where we sit is we want to make sure that our young people know all of the different opportunities that are available to them, to be partners and champions with them along that journey, and to let them know that with each choice that there's opportunities to dig in and establish grit and make a difference and realize their dreams along all of the different pathways. So we're embracing college as a general term, but recognizing that there are many different ways that young people are stepping into the process and taking advantage of the types of institutions and structures that are available to them. In the comment box, in the chat box, it helps me to just get a sense of who's in the room. If you can share one thing that you know students are finding challenging as they're sitting down to apply for college or to prepare for life after high school, just put it in the chat. It helps for me to get a sense of some of the challenging experiences that you know students are facing as they explore what might be next, and gives me a sense of who's in the room. So if you can put just anything in the chat as we go along of experiences or challenges that you know that our young people are facing as they think about life after high school, that would be great. Thank you so much, Theris, for sharing that when your parents have not gone to college, that can be a challenge for young people in the process. Now, the American College Application Campaign is also known as ACAC. So I will begin to use the ACAC acronym for this national network of supports that college-bound students are able to access through a state campaign that touches the lives of high school leaders that then supports the students in their community. It is designed to leverage post-secondary planning for student success with providing tools and resources, helping students build a potential list of colleges that allows them to stretch and explore many different opportunities. It helps students along the way as they are in the application process, whether it's accessing different portals and helping to get all the way through the process to actually push the submit button. We know that many students start the process, but at times can drop out in the middle of the process. So we are excited about the American College Application Campaign Network, or the ACAC network, as a resource for leaders, for state leaders, for school leaders who are trying to identify what are some of the ways that we can get our young people to stay the course, stay along the pathway, and actually get to the finish line of the final application process. So what does it look like to support our young people? And as I shared, the ACAC effort is a free resource that ACT brings to the nation. We, as an organization, connect with state leaders like the Alabama Department of Education for the state leaders to then identify high schools, higher education institutions, and community-based organizations that they push out tools, resources, programs, webinars, templates, whatnot to their entire state network so that we can make a difference as a united, coordinated, aligned, integrated a community of leaders so that we can make a difference in the lives of students. It is a free resource that ACT is excited to bring to the field that has been in existence, like I said, since 2005, but is only possible because Alabama Department of Education endorses it. Alabama Department of Education curates all the resources and then shares them out to the different high schools and other organizations that are being champions in the process. I really appreciate Terrence saying how it's important to explain to students the difference between undergraduate and graduate admissions in the process and how that can be a challenge for them. And many students don't even know that it is a simple process for direct admissions. It can sometimes be as simple as just sharing your GPA that gets a college interested in you. So just making that clear to students as a part of the process, that it doesn't have to be difficult and that there are champions in their school and in their community that want to walk with them. Thank you, Jennifer. So the campaign structure for ACT's perspective is for the American College Application Campaign to connect with state leaders. Those state leaders connect with high schools, higher ed, and community-based so that we can all make a difference in the lives of students. Our work within the American College Application Campaign actually has three different dimensions. We have a junior year effort called our College Match Day effort, which I'm going to go into detail about. We've got the senior year engagement, which are either days or weeks when high schools rally around the senior year college application process. And then the ACAC effort promotes an activity, a day, if you will, in September, when we encourage leaders nationally, champions nationally, parents and administrators, teachers and counselors nationally to flood social media with positive messages of inspiration about why it's so important for you to plan for life after college and consider applying to college. That the Why Apply campaign day is just a moment to say, this is a potential opportunity in your life path. And here are some great reasons why many individuals and leaders are choosing that path. So I'm going to go into a bit more detail about these three components. What we know is that Alabama is already deeply engaged across many high schools in all three of these campaigns. So this is just a way to refresh your understanding. And then those of you who are just hearing about the ACAC effort, to give you a grounding. We are excited at ACT about the latest national data around participation in the American College Application Campaign. Over 9,000, almost 10,000 high schools have participated from across the country. We have almost 2 million students within those high schools that have participated, going to events, expressing that they have a college list, showing up to apply, and then over 2.6 million applications submitted. The American College Application Campaign nationally, that is housed within ACT, keeps track of the national data and then also celebrates the local data for each state as they share it. What we know is that Alabama is doing a great job in identifying host sites. That can be schools, not-for-profits, or conglomerates of not-for-profits that are lifting up a series of activities and are serving as what we call host sites under Alabama's College Application Week. Over 28,000 students participated in our last campaign, and over 85,000 applications were submitted. That's the data that the Department of Education shared with ACAC, and we are constantly highlighting when we see state leaders and school leaders and regional leaders celebrate their data, share their data, and then set stretch goals for the future. We are open to all high schools participating. Even if we have 475, there's always room to grow, and we're excited about Alabama's leadership across the state to lift up the importance of applying to college. The campaign model looks different in different states, but I'd like to just share that here are some of the ways that different states are showcasing their American College Application Campaign efforts. ACT provides generic or general information, general tools, general templates, and information that states can use. And then each state has their own flavor, has their own brand, embraces a message that works for their state. So we're excited to be a partner with 39 states that have participated in the 2025 campaign, and we're in the process of celebrating all their great work. But you can see that Alabama is joined by Kentucky and Nevada and Arkansas and so many other states in creating logos and state campaigns that fit the feel and the energy of each state. Nationwide, we also know that there are several states that go above and beyond, not just sharing with students how to create a college list or how to get online and apply or how to be thoughtful about where you apply, but many states and many host sites also host FAFSA completion efforts. They host signing day, decision day events where it's an opportunity to have a backdrop and the students put on their sweatshirts or their hats of the school that they have agreed to attend. And so we know that 50% of our ACAC states are doing the signing days, as well as summer melt activities. Many of you know that even after a student signs on the dotted line on May 1st that they're going to choose college X or university Y, sometimes life happens in the summertime and we see melt. So we're excited when we see state leaders and host sites go above and beyond, in addition to providing the standard week-long events or several weeks of events during the school year, also exploring summertime activities or transition activities to keep students on the path to actually showing up on the first day of school. And we applaud Alabama for being a part of that network of state programs that also provide the signing day, also provide the FAFSA information. What we know is that when students have information to come together, when they have leaders who will be champions with them along the process, that they are more likely to stay the course. And ACT is thrilled to be a partner with Alabama in that process. Here are a few more pieces of information. Now, I was just attending the last session, and our folks with Alabama Goes to College did a great job of listing a lot of the great things that they do. So this is just an additional resource that I'm glad is aligned with what we already heard today from Alabama Goes to College. And we celebrate their work as a leader in the state of Alabama to prepare many host sites, many schools in their college planning process. If you are new to the ACAC effort, to the American College Application Campaign effort, and want to know more about not just what Alabama is doing, but what other states are doing, I provide this slide just so that you, as an individual who works on a high school campus or a counselor or a community leader, if you want to get a better sense of the breadth and depth of all of the different kinds of activities that are happening in New York and California and Florida and Arkansas, that this link takes you to ACT's national ACAC website as an additional resource for you. Of course, the Department of Education and the great work that is happening in Alabama is rich with resources, but we also wanted you to know that you're part of a national network and that that's available for you as well. These are pictures from different school campaigns around the Why Apply Day activities, around the community activities that they might do bingo, or they might have a scavenger hunt, or they might do some type of crossword puzzles, lots of different things that schools will put together. For me, seeing the smiles and the energy of young people in Alabama that are stepping up and making plans for the future is an exciting element. Now, as I go on to share what are some of the expectations for host sites, please note that if you have a question that you want to put in the chat, please do so. I am watching the chat as we go along. What we know is that sometimes information gets buried in the chat, so I'm also going to ask Xiomara if I miss something to please hold me to task so I don't miss sharing background information. So let's go with some information about what the host sites are expected to do. Many host sites, many schools, community-based organizations do different things, but there are some things that we have found across the nation and across multiple years. Like I said, we started this work in 2005. We know that there are some things that lead to higher success with the sites. So including activities in the school day. Yes, you can do afternoon activities. Yes, you can do early morning activities or weekend activities or summer activities. But when it happens in the school day, between the hours of 8 to 3, maybe it's over lunchtime. Maybe it's when students have a flex period or their study period. Having the activities happen for the most part during the school day means that more of the students can participate, more of the students have the energy of their peers participating, and it's not an extra burden around transportation or around competing with after-school events or working or whatnot. So school day activities, we know, touch the most number of students and have the higher likelihood for positive momentum. Helping students to think about supporting, engaging in the work, whether they think they're college material or not. So intentional schedules so it reaches all students, not just the students in your AP courses or your students in your honors courses or the students who self-select to participate, but making it such that every student gets the information and can wrestle with the information with their peers who are highly motivated and their peers who are emerging in terms of their motivation for their planning. Early participation or early activities in the fall reach more students and have a higher likelihood of success. What research says that some individuals need to hear the same information 7 times before it actually sinks in and moves them to action. So the earlier you begin the work in the fall, the earlier you begin the work in the student's high school journey to begin the conversation, the more likely the student is going to have heard the information enough times to just get ready to activate and move forward, and creating a trusted group of adults that will answer questions, that will remind students to show up to the different events, that will encourage students along the way so they actually press the submit button to celebrate with the students when they get their information about possible locations, and to be that guide and support and wise counsel for students as they're making their final decisions. What we know is that when host sites are engaged in these types of activities, they have a higher likelihood of success, and we see more students participating, more students submitting applications, and then more students participating in that celebration college signing day. The celebration process also can take many different forms. Some of you are already using the school newsletter to get information out about when the events are happening, what time the events are happening, and who needs to be at the events. But the school newsletter can also be an opportunity to celebrate those students who have completed the process, who want to be the near peer mentors of their other colleagues or their other student friends who are earlier in the process, celebrating leaders that we're seeing, student leaders in the process that are early adopters or early engaged individuals. The morning announcement is another moment when people share highlights around the college planning process or life after high school planning process, doing signs on lockers and decorating walls and decorating doors and having door decoration competitions between all of your English classes, for example, as another way to celebrate the process, to talk about the journey, not as a one moment in time, but as a full year of engaged activities, of exciting activities, of processing what happens after high school graduation. Pizza parties as prizes for the class or for the division that is having more engagement. And then, of course, student assemblies. We have a rich list of examples of how different schools and different regions and different states have celebrated the process of applying to college or planning for life after high school. So we would encourage you to take advantage of those tools and resources and think of celebration not as one point in time, but multiple points in time. What are ways that we can celebrate the process every month or every other week so that it's not a once and done, but we're celebrating those that are early adopters, those that are the strivers, those that are the successful submitters, as well as those that need, that are serving as mentors and peers along the way. Now, what we always look forward to is the data collection process. When I said that we had over 10,000 host sites participating in our 2025 campaign, the only way we were able to collect that information was because our state leaders partnered with our host sites to collect information along the process, along the journey. In many ways, ACT wants to celebrate the forward momentum and the impact that this work is having in the lives of students, the way it can influence their decisions for those that didn't think they were college material to now see themselves as college material, to give them good information about how to not just show up, but to plan in terms of FAFSA applications and so forth. So when a state chooses to partner with ACT on the American College Application Campaign, we ask for the number of seniors who participate, the number of applications submitted, and then the number of seniors in the graduating class. We want to be able to highlight Alabama as a strong player within the ACAC network, as a leader with creative and innovative ideas, and these data points help us to anchor the great work that Alabama is doing, along with the work that's happening nationally. Of course, there's always room for more data. So we've got some required elements, which are the number of seniors who participated, the number of applications, and the number in your graduating class. But anytime we can get context setting, demographic information, student characteristics information, details about where students applied, how many are applying just in Alabama to Alabama local schools versus the number of students or the types of institutions that students are applying outside. Are we seeing the number of students applying to the Great Eight going up in the state of Alabama? How can we lift that up and celebrate that in the process? So the optional pieces of information are also very welcome. We had more and more state campaigns, more and more host sites doing work earlier with younger grades, ninth grade and 10th grade, if you will, and being transparent about their intentional infusion of information earlier in the high school process for young people not to see this as something to dread that only comes in their senior year, but something that they're comfortable with because we've talked about it in their ninth grade, 10th grade, and 11th grade year along the process. So any information you as a host site can share with Alabama Department of Education as they are capturing all the information so that ACT can use our national platform to celebrate your work, the better. And so data collection is an important component as a way to say that we are being intentional about making college possible for more students. The junior year activity is a newish activity for ACT as part of the American College Application Campaign. We started the work in 2024 as a response to many state leaders and many high school leaders who said we could use additional supports of things to do with our juniors so that they understand match and fit, they understand the different types of institutions that are available to them, and the interest of their major and the interest of how far they want to be away from home. How do you create a list of schools that might be a few stretch schools, a few on the nose, right fit schools, as well as a few schools that might be kind of in your interesting, innovative space. So we are working with quite a few high schools and states to engage in a college day for juniors, college match day for juniors effort, with the goal of exploring match and fit with juniors, helping all juniors in the effort to have a completed list of post-secondary institutions. As they end their junior year, you already know the list of 5 or 7 or 10 schools that you plan to apply to, and then set up a series of activities that would happen during the school day in support of juniors. This effort, College Match Day, was made possible in 2024 with funding from the Kresge Foundation, and 9 states, Alabama being one of them, have agreed to participate in the effort to let us know how working with juniors is an important stage in the process, and what are some of the kinds of activities that we can put in place in order to see anxiety go down, participation go up, and success in their planning process be achieved. The College Match Day, as I shared, with this junior population is about identifying that there are many different types of institutions, and you want to find the institution that is the right match for you in terms of academic rigor, in terms of the type of experience, whether you want a residential or a commuter experience. What kind of social components do you want to have as part of your college experience? And then what are some of the research components that would help you make an informed decision? You have your likely candidate schools, your target schools, and then those stretch schools on your list. And working with juniors, hopefully by the end of their junior year, they would have a narrow, balanced list of the schools that they want to apply to in the senior year, so that they have the summer to begin to do those college visits that they may need to do, that they may want to do. They have an opportunity to reach out to current students at those institutions or faculty members at those institutions, or go on virtual tours. By starting in the junior year and narrowing the list, we see great resonance, great energy happening on the high school campuses for the students participating. And we are already seeing some impact from the work for the school year 24, 25, 26, and we're in 26, 20, 24, 25, 25, 26 school year. Sometimes I'm a little bit slow. We are seeing that our juniors are broadening their horizons and considering schools that they had never heard of. Perhaps they want to take a dive into the grade 8 schools, that we're seeing a broader interest in types of schools, 2-year, 4-year, perhaps some training programs that they might not have considered. We're seeing a confidence building that they are checking in and they are participating in more of the activities in their senior year as a result of their participation participation in getting early engagement in their junior year, and that from both years of participation, that the infusion of Kresge dollars is helping not just the schools, but also not just the students, excuse me, but also the schools think about broadening their work, think about their opportunity for tracking this connection with juniors so that the experience of the junior year engagement is making a difference as they apply to colleges in their senior year. So we're seeing impact, but this effort was a result of community members, host sites, state leaders coming to ACT and coming to the American College Application Campaign and saying, we need more. We need additional resources and tools, and we were thrilled to have Kresge participating in that process. Last but not least, I want to talk about our social media campaign that is currently set for September 18th this year. So mark your calendar now. There are plenty of resources that I know that the Department of Alabama has available. And of course, we have resources available on our website of the forms that you can use to share the message of why apply. It's one day where we flood social media with positive, inspirational, motivational messages about the value of of graduating from college, the value of applying to college, the importance of investing in your future as a young person by considering the college pathway, by considering the post-secondary pathway beyond high school. And so we are excited about the many ways that Alabama participates in this work, how schools already across Alabama participate. We know that some high school teachers even share their Why Apply Day sign and put it on their door so that when students are coming in during their senior year, they're already thinking about the why apply for their teacher in the process. So for those of you who are on the call or on this webinar who have already participated, one, I want to thank you for being a partner with ACT in this effort. And we know that young people are moved on social media. They are active participants on social media. So when those of us who might be a little gray come on board and use social media to celebrate and encourage student participation, it's a good thing. So Why Apply Day has been a part of the ACAC network of activities for a while, and we're excited about September 18th. So mark your calendar now. Additional information is available through this link, and what I know is available for all of you, this slide deck, so that you can take advantage of these links and activate for September 18th for the Why Apply Day. These are just a few pictures of moments of celebration of how the Why Apply Day is molded and shaped and celebrated in different ways with student pictures and whatnot. So, School of Excellence Award. What we know is everyone wants to be seen and recognized for the great work that they're doing. So starting in 2019, ACT asked each state leader to identify a high school in their state that was going above and beyond in terms of their engagement and support for young people in their college application process. We are excited that Alabama has participated and that this is an opportunity to just showcase when we have amazing high school leaders that recognize that a coordinated, intentional, transparent effort matters, both for students and for parents. The award highlights good and innovative efforts that are taking place. It recognizes the schools that are serving students from all different walks of life and all different experiences with exemplary models that are tracking their data, that are sharing their data and submitting their data in a timely manner, that strive to elevate awareness and go above and beyond to ensure that students and parents have all the information that they need, and that decrease the stress that too many students are experiencing. It is an opportunity where ACT asks the state leaders to identify the school in their state each year that has gone above and beyond. And we want to celebrate this year's winner, Pell City High School, for being recognized by the Alabama College application campaign for their great work. But in years past, we have had several high schools participate. Alabama has been an active member of the School of Excellence Award winners process. So congratulations to Oxford High School, Russell County High School, Booker T. Washington High School, Andalusia High School, Ramsey High School, and Silligent High School for all of their great efforts. We know that leaders who are recognized once were doing the work for many years before they were recognized, and they're continuing to do the work even after they're recognized. But Alabama has been engaged in taking a moment and pausing to see those high schools that are going above and beyond. And we want to congratulate you as well in the effort. And now, how might you, if this is something new to you, if you are just hearing about ACAC for the first time today, if you were not aware the Department of Alabama is already deeply engaged, what can you do to participate? One, you can showcase the great work of the school that was selected this year. You can showcase their success and repost when Alabama posts information about what is happening in Pell City High School. You can participate in the College Match Day series of events for juniors this spring. You can participate in college application and events in the fall. You can participate in the September 18th Y Apply Day. Even if this is the first time that you're hearing about it and you're not sure where to go, of course, I would encourage you to go to the Department of Education, Alabama Department of Education, but you can also go to the ACAC website, and we are happy to connect you with all of the tools and resources that you need to be intentional and transparent and an inspiration to the students in your network. Here's a QR code to become a host site that would connect you with ACT and that would start the process if you want to engage with becoming a host site. Here's information about registering to be a part of the College Match Day junior year activities that ACT is trying to track the effectiveness of this effort, particularly through Kresge grant funds. So you might want to check out that QR code. And last but not least, here's all the information about how to connect with my colleague Trevor and Lisa Summer King. Remember, I said I have the great opportunity to work with Lisa and Trevor every day, but they are the experts advancing the great work of the ACAC work across the nation. And so we want to make sure that you had their contact information and information about our newsletter that goes out with additional resources. Okay, now in my last 15 minutes, I want to just switch gears a bit and share a few pieces of information about career readiness tools and resources that ACT has to offer. If you can put in the comment or the chat box, does your school or your organization have a robust set of college and career activities and programs and efforts? So would you say that yes, your school does have a robust set, or does your school are you in need of help? Are you emerging? We're trying to get a sense of, there are many high schools and many states that have a message around college and career readiness. They have a robust set of college activities through their connection with the American College Application Campaign and other efforts, but they don't yet have a robust series of activities or supports or programs in the career space. So I was just trying to get a sense of if you were still on the line with us and would be comfortable sharing, yes, this is my school, we are an emerging stage, or yes, this is my school and we don't have anything in the moment that is about the career success, or yes, this is my school and we have a deep set of activities, programs that are all about the career space. So I see you, Monique, in being interested in gathering more information about support. So if after today's call you want to connect, please make sure I will put my information in the chat that we can have a follow-up conversation. But you should know that ACT has a series of assessments and activities that different high schools can put in place in the high school experience around what are the ways that students can prepare for life after high school. If they are interested in college, and even if they're not, there are ways that the students can demonstrate what they know and are able to do, what skills and competencies they have that employers are interested in seeing, that employers recognize, and that students can take advantage of. So through our ACT Work Keys curriculum, that can be embedded in the school day, that can be embedded in different courses, you get a chance for those students who might want to take a pause in the college planning process, but want support in the workforce or the career planning process, that the ACT curriculum is available around Work Keys, that there is a series of ACT Work Keys assessments. Many high schools in Alabama are already exploring it or using it. But if you want to get a deeper dive, please know that ACT is available to be a partner with you so that you don't have to start from scratch, so that you don't have to create in a vacuum, but know that there are many state leaders, there are many community leaders, there's many resources that ACT can bring to you, both free resources as well as resources that might require a few supports around financial supports, but we know that you do not have to start from scratch. And we have over 29,000 employers that recognize ACT's tools in the career readiness space, that recognize ACT's assessments in the career readiness space, so that as we partner with you, high school leaders, counselors, community partners, to develop curriculum, develop tools that will give students lots of options as they're preparing for careers after high school, that we are helping to identify those skills through assessments, that we are helping to certify that those assessments are giving high quality information to the students so that they can be the driver in their own planning for the future, and then empower them to connect with over 29,000 employers. This is a win-win-win in the career space for those that are exploring that area of engagement. Now, if a student takes 3 of ACT's Work Keys assessments, the workplace documents assessment, the applied math assessment, and the graphic literacy assessment, they can get something called the ACT National Career Readiness Certificate. This is a certificate that is recognized in all 50 states, is already endorsed by over 29,000 employers, and over the years that we've been offering it, over 6 million credentials have been earned. What is helpful about the Career Readiness Certificate is that even if a student is not college ready now, by choosing the National Career Readiness Certificate pathway, they're not locking themselves out of college for the future. It is a both and career readiness certificate. A student access to career options, yes, but also gives them access to credits in a 2-year or 4-year college experience in their future. So for those of you who are looking for a both and approach to support the young person who right now might not see themselves as college ready, by connecting with them with the National Career Readiness Certificate, they don't cut themselves off of the future college planning opportunity, because it gives you a both and opportunity to explore. In short, the National Career Readiness Certificate has been shown to help individuals gain higher earnings, better job performance ratings, and even increase higher education high school completion rates and higher education engagement opportunities. We know that students who earn a National Career Readiness Certificate are more likely to participate in post-secondary opportunities beyond high school. So even those students who say that they're not college ready, it is a pathway for an easy transition to additional workforce certifications, workforce programs, workforce credentials that a student can access, and that we know that when we look at the students who have strong work key scores or a strong National Career Readiness Certificate, that they also have a higher likelihood of success if and when they choose the post-secondary route. So it's a both and that is a win-win for students and for schools that are trying to embrace career readiness as well as college readiness. Just as background, students who participate in the program can be certified at different levels: bronze, silver, gold, and platinum. And depending on their level of certification, they can then access college level credit. So from as little as 3 semesters of credit to 9 semesters of credit for students that are at different levels of the platinum, gold, or silver level of success when they take the work keys and get the National Career Readiness Certificate. I share this because it's important to note that the colleges and universities listed at the bottom of this slide already recognize the National Career Readiness Certificate and provide prior learning credits for students who choose that route. So when I shared earlier that this is a both and approach for our young people, that if you have a student who says they're not yet college ready, or they think they're not college material, by having them complete several work keys assessments, getting their National Career Readiness Certificate, doing well in that process, they can then hold on to that credential. And then when they're ready to go to college, translate that certificate into 3, 4, 5, up to 9 units of college credit. And several Alabama campuses are part of the community that recognizes this certification. Then we have the social media option of putting the badge in their LinkedIn account or their social media accounts as a way of demonstrating to employers that are looking at social media that the young person has a credential, has done the work to validate their skills and competencies, and is the right fit for the workplace, for the job opportunity that is out there. So we try to cover as many bases as possible in that career planning process. So it's not just an assessment for assessment purposes only, but it's to give student a credential that they can then use for job hunting and job application processes. They can celebrate the skills and competencies that they have validated by using a Credly badge on their LinkedIn profile. And it's a great way for a student to get early college credit for the certification level that they have earned. So many different value adds. We have a whole host of information about the work keys and about the National Career Readiness Certificate and about the curriculum that is available that can be infused in lots of different courses. And this slide will give you a link to many of those resources that are available. Last but not least, if you're part of a community network of, let's say you're a high school that's working with a not-for-profit that is also working with a local college or university to create like this seamless pathway of success opportunities for students in the college and the career space, we also have a free toolkit that identifies what 2 communities in Omaha, Nebraska and Las Vegas, Nevada, how they have created a seamless list or a seamless package of both college pathway and career pathway efforts. And we've codified all those efforts in case studies and in toolkits and in interesting worksheets and interesting approaches that any community leader, whether you work for a not-for-profit or whether you work at a high school, can use. It's a free toolkit that's also available for those communities who are in the beginning stages, for those high schools who are in the beginning stages of braiding both a college and career pathway approach. We have a toolkit that is available to you to take full advantage of free of charge. I am rushing through all of the different components of the toolkit because this information will be available if you go to the QR code or if you gather the information from the slides at the end. But know that it's designed to be a step-by-step guide for you to activate on, not just telling you the 30,000 foot level things that you might do, but giving you step-by-step approaches for how you can engage in a very targeted, very intentional, very transparent career success agenda for your students. I am now at the last 10 minutes. I have breezed through quite a bit. I have been trying to keep track of questions in the chat. I see our different folks, Emily sharing that Pike Road High School is in the emerging stage, folks sharing their email addresses so that we can stay in touch. I'm going to absolutely put my information in the chat as well, so that if you would like to reach out and have a more robust conversation about how your high school can take advantage of the ACT tools and supports, whether it's through the American College Application Campaign or it's through our Work Keys and National Career Readiness certificate resources, or via the toolkit that is that Career Readiness Toolkit that is free of charge, available to any community leader, please know that I welcome